So it's been a wildly entertaining past 24 hours on YouTube. You're just having more and more things come out, and the completionist just looks worse and worse and worse. Some ordinary gamers, aka Mudahar and Carl Jost, they released more evidence against the completionist, and it does not look good for him. The complete Discord call is up on their channels. That'll be linked down below in the description. Not much else I can add to that. I just showcased the guy really had his head so far up his ass, and I just can't understand anyone that runs a charity doesn't know what's going on. I think there's a lot of plausible deniability he's trying to have there. It didn't really meet the bullshit test there, in my personal opinion. I think he's full of shit, or maybe he is just downright that dumb. But the conversation I want to have is some of the backlash that Mudahar and Carl have received for profiting off of these exposés. Now, there was something that popped up in my feed because I watch a hockey channel called Act Now. In the bottom left screen, that's my handle on YouTube for my hockey channel. I release content as well on that channel and do pretty successful, in my personal opinion. So I saw it come up my Twitter feed, and I was a bit surprised because I'm not expecting him. He's more Star Wars and hockey. He doesn't really get involved in drama, right? And I see a tweet by him kind of complaining about one of his friends dealing with the situation. So then I go into the account of his friend. It's called The Family Bovine, and this is what he had up. No matter what side of the spectrum you sit on in the completionist debacle, can we all agree shit like this is scummy as fuck? So Carl has a pinned comment saying the completionist is not a nice guy. Download Empires and Puzzles today. He goes on to say, just a heads up, I'm not defending anyone here. Gerard isn't innocent, and his accusers claim they are doing this for the betterment of charity, whilst ad revenue and sponsors are littered in each video. It's clear both parties are disingenuous. Muting because people legit dick-riding Muda and Carl like their lives depend on it. Enjoy talking amongst yourself. And it would get a little bit more interesting. He would go on to tweet. I never tweet. I'm not a social media guy, yet I am always open to casual discussion, disagreements, and even trash talk. But the fact that these two come sniffing within hours of each other over my single 500 likes Gerard tweet, it's absurd. Chronically online behavior. This is what both of them had to say. Carl said, I've never claimed I was doing this for betterment of charity. I've never discussed my motives other than saying I make videos to make money. I've never put myself on any moral high ground. Isn't it convenient that those who have a problem with how I call out charity fraud are also liars themselves? Mudahard will jump in. Man, you must hate watching the news anytime they cover something serious and an ad plays, right? I wanted to cover a story and money ended up getting donated, lol. Trust me, I'm not trying to be a saint out of this. Clearly, we made ad revenue for time spent investigating. And I'll just briefly put up X tweets. There's really nothing crazy. He's more just going to bat for his guy, and I understand. And there's some honest-to-God points he makes. Some of the behavior online can get a little bit too ravenous. But the greater discussion here. Are Carl and Mudahar bad people for profiting off this situation? I could understand what he was trying to say there. Well, these guys are complaining about charity fraud, yet they're making money off this guy's downfall. But it's kind of a false equivalency. Yes, they're making money off videos they spend time investigating and making. That's not an easy task to do. Of course, you want to get paid for your work. Just like that guy, regardless of how small his channel is, just like me, I'm a small channel. When you make a video and you can be monetized, you want to see a few bucks from it. Let's not kid ourselves here. That's just how the world works. I mean, even Ek himself is a massively popular Star Wars and hockey channel. If he can make money off a video, regardless if it's ceremonial, talking about death, talking about the games, whatever, he's going to do so. And I don't begrudge any content creator from making money. It's just, it's not apples for apples here. The completionist sat on over $600,000. He lied to thousands of people that gave their hard-earned cash, saying that these funds were going to go to dementia research, and they never did. Now, eventually it went there. but only due to Mudahar and Carl's investigative reporting. Let's just call that what that is. If you honestly believe that the completionist was going to do the right thing eventually, God bless you. Really bless your heart. I appreciate your optimism, but for a guy sitting on things for about 10 years, I doubt he'd do what he was supposed to do in the first place unless it got exposed like it did. And this is something, for me, why I have no problem of these two making money off of it. It's videos they have produced, videos they have spent time on. They're allowing the public to know the inner workings of a charity that has a lot of fraud in it. They're doing the public a good service, in my personal opinion. Now, I did go through some tweets, and I'm not going to make this into a mudslinging session because, first off, I don't care if someone has a different opinion than me. The one thing I thought was disingenuous from Family Bovine, if I believe that's how you say his name, is he just kept saying, well, these guys aren't great people either. These guys aren't saints. They're making money off this. Everyone that comes to complain about what I said are dick riders. It's like, come on, man. People disagree with your take because in a lot of ways it makes no sense. So when you have these investigative journalists for these news outlets have groundbreaking reports and expose a lot of scams, expose the dirty underworld of some places, you complain when you see a Toyota ad during the commercials? Of course you don't. You understand that these news companies need to make money, and what makes those two any different? They're at a far lower scale, obviously. They're just two human beings. But why shouldn't they make money off their hard work? They're not frauding people. If you click on the video and you see an ad, it's quite obvious what's going on there. Of course, they're getting some type of ad revenue. That's just a very silly point in my personal opinion. I get it. You might have some type of moral problem with it, but I still believe it's a false equivalency. One dude was holding on to over $600,000 supposed to be given to dementia research. These other two individuals put in time and effort to make videos, released it to the public to expose said individual. Who do I want the money to really go to? The individuals that are bringing the darkness to the light. I don't know, I just saw that and I get the principle. I really do. But at the same time, we're really trying hard to find fault with those two individuals. You might not like them, and that's fine. But if that's your only counter argument, I don't know, man. It just seems a little bit weak to me. And this is one last piece I'll have to say before I go, because I know this is something he tweeted. There's people that work for him. There's people underneath him that make money off of him. That's not Carl or Mudahar's responsibility. That is all on Gerard. That is his own fault. He made his own bed. Now he has to lie in it. And if you are working for him or underneath him in that company, do you really want to be working with such a shady individual? That's an honest to God question you can have. But I'd like to know your opinions down below in the comments section. Do you believe Mudahar and Carl should be able to profit off this? Or do you believe that's not okay? Let me know down below. I'm Captain Paul. I'll see you in the next one.